A mechanic with 25 years of experience told me something that changed how I look at used cars. The cars I never see come in for repairs are the same cars nobody wants to buy. Right now, 12 luxury cars are sitting on dealer lots at prices that make no mechanical sense, abandoned by buyers chasing German badges and paying German repair bills. Every car verified with RepairPal data, JD Power scores, and what independent mechanics actually see in their shops. 12 luxury cars nobody wants. Mechanics say, buy them now. Number 12. Buick Lucerne 2006 to 2011. Let's start with a car that mechanics love because it almost never shows up at their shop for anything serious. The 2006 to 2011 Buick Lucerne runs GM's legendary 3800 Series 3V6, a 3.8-liter naturally aspirated engine that powered police cruisers, fleet rentals, and taxi cabs across America for decades before it was ever dropped into a Buick for your grandmother to drive to Sunday brunch. JD Power gave the 2011 Lucerne a reliability score of 91 out of 100, the highest score any car on this list earned from any source. The reason nobody buys the Lucerne is the same reason it's priced this low. It's a Buick, and Buick means old people to every buyer under 50. That perception has cratered the Lucerne's resale value to levels that genuinely don't make sense given what the car actually is. A full-size luxury sedan with a proven 300,000-mile engine, a ride quality smoother than most modern SUVs, and a back seat spacious enough for an NFL lineman. RepairPal estimates the average annual repair cost at $569, well below the luxury sedan average. You can find clean examples with under 80,000 miles for $4,000 to $9,000, less than a high-mileage Camry. One mechanic put it simply, "I've never replaced an engine or transmission in a 3800. I've replaced hundreds in BMWs." The Lucerne is the car smart buyers find after they stop caring what the badge says. A 91 out of 100 reliability score, and nobody wants it. The next car is a Honda in a suit, and mechanics say its engine is functionally unkillable. Number 11. Acura TL 2004 to 2008. The 2004 to 2008 Acura TL is what happens when Honda builds a luxury sports sedan and forgets to charge luxury prices. RepairPal gives the TL a reliability rating of 4.0 out of 5.0. ranking it 6th out of 31 luxury midsize cars with an average annual repair cost of just $456, less than a Honda Civic. The engine underneath is Honda's J-Series V6, specifically the J32A3 in the standard TL and the J35A8 in the Type S. Both derived from the same engine family that Honda has been refining since 1996, and that independent mechanics have documented reaching 300,000 miles on original internals without breaking a sweat. Here's why nobody buys the TL. Acura's badge prestige sits uncomfortably between Honda and Lexus in the American market. It's too expensive to feel like a Honda bargain, and not prestigious enough to compete with BMW or Mercedes for badge-conscious buyers. That gap in perception has created a gap in pricing that mechanics find genuinely baffling. A 2007 TL Type S with 100,000 miles sells for $7,000 to $12,000. That's a 270 horsepower, VTEC-equipped, leather-trimmed sports sedan with Honda reliability for the price of a beat-up Corolla. One forum owner documented 261,000 miles on his 2008 Type S with nothing replaced beyond a purge valve and a starter. The mechanic's take. The TL Type S is the car I recommend to anyone who asks me what to buy. Nobody ever comes back with complaints. A Honda V6 that reaches 300,000 miles in a luxury sedan for Corolla money. The next car was styled to look like an Aston Martin, and Ford forgot to tell anyone it was actually reliable. Number 10, Lincoln MKZ 2013 to 2020. The 2013 to 2020 Lincoln MKZ is the luxury sedan that Ford built brilliantly, styled beautifully, and then completely failed to market against the cars it was genuinely engineered to compete with. When Ford designed the MKZ, they gave it a retractable glass roof, a hybrid powertrain delivering 40 miles per gallon, and styling that automotive journalists openly compared to Aston Martin. Then they put a Lincoln badge on it and watched it get ignored by every buyer who associated Lincoln with retirement homes and town cars rather than genuine modern luxury. The hybrid MKZ is the specific goldmine mechanics point to. It uses the same Atkinson cycle hybrid system Toyota developed for the Camry hybrid and Lexus ES hybrid. Because Ford licensed Toyota's hybrid technology directly, meaning the most failure-prone component in any hybrid vehicle is built by the most reliable hybrid manufacturer in the world. RepairPal estimates the MKZ's average annual repair cost at $649, well below BMW and Mercedes competitors. The conventional 2.0-liter EcoBoost engine in non-hybrid models is equally proven, refined across millions of Ford and Lincoln vehicles. You can find clean hybrid MKZ models for $9,000 to $16,000. Genuine luxury sedan money for a car that gets 40 miles per gallon and has Toyota's hybrid system underneath a Lincoln badge. Nobody cross-shops Lincoln against Lexus or BMW because Lincoln's brand image hasn't caught up to its engineering reality. That disconnect is a used car buyer's best friend. An Aston Martin look-alike with Toyota hybrid technology for $9,000. The next car was built to fight the BMW 5 Series, and the badge on the hood is the only reason it lost. Number 9. Hyundai Genesis Sedan, 2012 to 2016. The 2012 to 2016 Hyundai Genesis Sedan was Hyundai's billion-dollar bet that they could build a genuine luxury car, and they did. They hired BMW chassis engineers, used real leather and real wood, offered a 5.0-liter V8 producing 429 horsepower, and priced the whole thing at half what a comparable BMW 5 Series cost. Then they watched badge snobbery crush their sales numbers because in 2012, the idea of a $45,000 Hyundai was simply too much for the American market to accept. One owner described it perfectly. It's like showing up to a country club in a perfectly tailored suit from Target. Here's what mechanics see that badge-conscious buyers don't. The 3.8-liter Lambda Phi 6, making 333 horsepower, is remarkably robust, connected to transmissions rated for substantially higher torque than they generate. Early models used ZF units, the same supplier that builds BMW's transmissions. Both the V6 and V8 use timing chains rather than belts, eliminating the most expensive scheduled maintenance item on the powertrain. RepairPal data shows Hyundai's overall repair costs track below the industry average, and the Genesis sedan specifically benefits from Hyundai's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty that transfers to second owners. You can find clean 2015 models with 60,000 miles for $12,000 to $17,000. A car that originally retailed for $38,000 to $52,000. That's massive depreciation working entirely in your favor because the badge says Hyundai instead of BMW. A $45,000 car with BMW supplier transmissions for $12,000. The next car has a V6 that mechanics call one of the most unkillable engines Nissan ever built. Number 8. Infiniti G37, 2008 to 2013. The 2008 to 2013 Infiniti G37 carries RepairPal's 4.0 out of 5.0 reliability rating with an average annual repair cost of just $540 and an 8% probability that any given repair will be a severe or major issue, compared to 12% for the luxury midsize average. Those numbers alone should make the G37 one of the most sought-after used luxury sedans in America. Instead, it sits on used lots being outsold by BMWs that cost twice as much to maintain and break 3 times as often. The VQ37 VHRV6 underneath is the engine mechanics point to when they explain why the G37 belongs on this list. Nissan's VQ engine family has appeared on Ward's 10 Best Engines list 14 separate times, more than any other engine family in the award's history. The 3.7-liter version in the G37 produces 330 horsepower through a naturally aspirated design with no turbo to fail, no direct injection carbon build-up to clean, and a timing chain that never needs replacement. It revs to 7,500 revolutions per minute and sounds like a genuine sports car doing it. Behind it sits a 7-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual, both proven across millions of Infiniti and Nissan vehicles. You can find clean G37 sedans for $8,000 to $14,000 and coupes for slightly less. The market drops Infiniti prices because American buyers don't cross-shop Infiniti against BMW the way they should. Mechanics who work on both will tell you the G37 is the car they'd buy with their own money. A 14-time award-winning engine with an 8% chance of a major repair. The next car carries a badge nobody trusts, but it beat the BMW 5 Series in a published head-to-head comparison test. Number 7, Cadillac CTS 2014 to 2019. The 2014 to 2019 Cadillac CTS is the car that automotive journalists unanimously called the best American luxury sedan ever built, and then watched American buyers ignore it because they'd already decided Cadillac couldn't compete with BMW. When Motor Trend tested the CTS against the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class, the Cadillac won. Not by a small margin. It won in handling, it won in steering feel, and it won in interior design. Then it lost in the dealership because the badge said Cadillac instead of BMW, and the American luxury market runs on badge perception rather than engineering reality. The 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder in the base CTS and the 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6 in the premium trim are both proven GM powertrains refined across millions of vehicles. The 3.6-liter is the specific engine mechanics recommend. Post-2014 models resolved the timing chain issues that plagued earlier versions, and the naturally aspirated design eliminates the turbo-related failure points that make European competitors expensive to maintain. The magnetic ride control suspension, shared with the Corvette, delivers handling precision that most BMW owners would find genuinely surprising in a Cadillac. You can find clean 2015 to 2017 CTS sedans for $12,000 to $20,000. A car that beat the BMW 5 Series in a published head-to-head comparison, selling for a third of what a comparable year 5 Series costs on the used market. The mechanic's perspective is blunt. The CTS is the BMW you can actually afford to keep running after 100,000 miles. The car that beat BMW in a comparison test and still nobody bought it. The next one carries a Swedish badge. And its safety engineering might save your life before the reliability saves your wallet. If any of these are on your short list, drop the model in the comments and subscribe. The next list covers the luxury cars mechanics say to avoid at all costs. Number 6, Volvo S60 2011 to 2018. The 2011 to 2018 Volvo S60 is the luxury sedan that safety-obsessed engineers built for safety-obsessed buyers, and then discovered that safety-obsessed buyers were buying Subarus instead because Volvo's brand identity got lost somewhere between built like a tank and my parents drove one in the 80s. The T5 5-cylinder turbocharged engine in early models is one of the smoothest power plants fitted to any sedan in this era. A characteristically Volvo design that sounds unlike anything from Germany or Japan and delivers a balance of power and refinement that caught reviewers off guard. The later models switched to a drivey 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that Volvo designed specifically for efficiency and durability, pairing it with an ASIN-sourced 8-speed automatic, the same transmission supplier that builds gearboxes for Toyota and Lexus. The S60's structure was designed to exceed every global crash safety standard simultaneously, using boron steel reinforcement and a passenger cell engineered to protect occupants in collisions that would fold a lesser car in half. That safety engineering isn't just a selling point, it's a mechanical indicator that the car was built with tolerances and material quality that prioritize survival above cost-cutting. You can find clean S60 models for $8,000 to $16,000, depending on year and mileage. The market drops Volvo sedan prices because Americans stopped buying sedans entirely, and Volvo's SUV lineup absorbed all the brand's remaining prestige. That leaves the S60 sitting forgotten on used lots. Swedish engineered, ASIN transmitted, and priced like a Corolla. Swedish safety engineering with a Toyota supplier transmission for Corolla money. The next car lost $40,000 in value because the badge said Kia. But the engine is the same one that powers a Genesis. Number 5, Kia K900 2015 to 2019. The 2015 to 2019 Kia K900 originally retailed for $55,000 to $65,000. A genuine flagship luxury sedan with a 5.0-liter V8 producing 420 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, quilted leather seats, and a full suite of luxury features that directly targeted the Lexus LS and Mercedes S-Class. The market responded exactly the way you'd expect. Nobody paid $60,000 for a Kia. Sales were so low that Kia dealerships in some markets never even ordered one. The K900 was dead on arrival, not because it was bad, but because the badge was wrong. Here's what mechanics see when they actually open the hood. The same 5.0-liter Tau V8 that Hyundai developed for the Genesis sedan and the Equus. An engine that has proven itself across multiple luxury platforms with no documented pattern of catastrophic failures. The 8-speed automatic is smooth, the rear-wheel drive chassis is balanced, and the interior materials are genuinely premium in a way that Kia's mainstream reputation would never lead you to expect. You can find clean K900 examples with under 60,000 miles for $15,000 to $22,000, meaning a car that cost $60,000 new has lost over $40,000 in value purely because of the 4 letters on the hood. That's not depreciation based on mechanical quality. That's depreciation based on perception. One mechanic described the K900 as the best-kept secret in the used luxury market, a $60,000 car for $15,000 that drives exactly the way a $60,000 car should. A $60,000 V8 luxury sedan for $15,000 because it says Kia. The next car was dismissed as just a fancy Camry, and that's exactly why mechanics say you should buy one immediately. Number 4. Lexus GS 35. 2006 to 2012. The 2006 to 2012 Lexus GS 350 is the sports sedan that Lexus built to compete directly against the BMW 5 Series. Rear-wheel drive, V6 power, sharp handling, and the kind of balanced chassis that automotive journalists called genuinely surprising for a brand known more for comfort than driving engagement. It was faster than most buyers expected, more refined than most competitors delivered, and more reliable than anything German in its class. And the market forgot about it the moment Lexus discontinued it, because the BMW badge carried more weight at dinner parties than the Lexus badge ever could. The engine underneath is the 2GR-FSE 3.5-liter V6. A member of the same engine family that powers the Camry, the Highlander, the RX 350, and half of Toyota's entire lineup. It's been proven across millions of vehicles over 2 decades as one of the most reliable 6-cylinders ever manufactured. RepairPal estimates Lexus's average annual repair cost at $551, below the industry average for all vehicles, not just luxury sedans. The GS 350's rear-wheel drive layout gives it driving dynamics that front-wheel drive Lexus models like the ES can't match, and the available all-wheel drive system adds capability without adding the complexity that makes German AWD systems expensive to service. You can find clean examples for $8,000 to $16,000 right now. A rear-wheel drive Lexus sports sedan with a proven Toyota V6 for the price of a Honda Civic. And the market is sleeping on it because the nameplate doesn't exist anymore. A Lexus sports sedan with BMW fighting dynamics and Camry repair costs. The next car is the one your financially independent uncle drives, and his mechanic has been trying to tell you why for a decade. Number 3. Toyota Avalon, 2013 to 2018. The 2013 to 2018 Toyota Avalon is the car your financially independent uncle drives. The one who retired early, paid off his house, and doesn't care what anyone thinks about his vehicle because the math made sense years ago and still does today. The Avalon shares its 3.5-liter V6 with the Camry and the Lexus ES 350. The legendary 2GR-FE, arguably the most bulletproof 6-cylinder Toyota has ever manufactured, an engine that has been documented reaching 500,000 miles on nothing more than oil changes and a timing chain that never needs replacement. Nobody under 60 buys the Avalon, and that's the entire reason it's priced this low. This is a near-luxury Toyota sedan with more legroom than a Mercedes E-Class, smoother ride quality than most modern SUVs, and maintenance costs that RepairPal estimates at just $463 per year, less than a Honda Civic. You can find clean examples with under 80,000 miles for $12,000 to $19,000. A same-year Lexus ES 35. With identical mileage and an identical engine, costs $20,000 to $26,000. A $7,000 to $8,000 premium for a fancier badge and slightly softer leather. Mechanics will tell you the mechanical difference between the two is essentially zero. Behind the wheel, the Avalon rides like a car that costs twice its asking price. Quiet, composed, and supremely comfortable in a way that modern crossovers have completely abandoned. The only complaint anyone ever levels at the Avalon is that it's boring. For a used car buyer, boring is the highest compliment a mechanic can give. A Lexus ES 350 without the Lexus price tag. The next car earned one of the most backhanded compliments in the automotive world, and mechanics say that compliment is actually a buying signal. Number 2. Lexus ES 35. 2007 to 2012. The 2007 to 2012 Lexus ES 350 gets dismissed with the single most backhanded compliment in the automotive world. It's just a fancy Camry. Mechanics hear that phrase and respond the same way every time. Yes, that's the point. The ES 35 shares its platform, its engine, and its core mechanical components with the Toyota Camry, meaning it inherits the Camry's legendary parts availability, the Camry's industry-leading maintenance costs, and the Camry's documented ability to reach 300,000 miles on scheduled oil changes and nothing else. What the ES adds is genuine leather, real wood trim, sound insulation that makes highway driving feel like a private library, and a ride quality that makes the Camry feel like an economy car. The 2GR-FE 3.5-liter V6 inside the ES 350 is one of Toyota's most proven engines. Smooth, responsive, and documented across millions of vehicles as virtually bulletproof. RepairPal estimates the average annual maintenance cost at $551, below the industry average for all vehicles combined, luxury or otherwise. The market ignores the ES because enthusiasts call it boring, because it doesn't have rear-wheel drive, and because fancy Camry sounds like an insult. You can find clean examples for $7,000 to $14,000. Genuine Lexus luxury with Camry reliability for less than a monthly payment on a new BMW 3 Series. Behind the wheel, the ES delivers exactly what a post-warranty buyer actually needs: supreme comfort, supreme silence, and a mechanical warranty written in Toyota's engineering rather than a dealership's paperwork. A fancy Camry, and every mechanic on earth says that's the best compliment a car can receive. The number one car on this list earned a quality score so high that most people don't believe it when they hear the number. Number 1 Lexus LS 430, 2001 to 2006. The 2001 to 2006 Lexus LS 430 might be the most reliable luxury car ever built. That's not marketing language. That's what the data says, what owner forums confirm, and what every independent mechanic who has ever worked on one will tell you without hesitation. J.D. Power awarded the LS 430 a quality and reliability score of 95 out of 100 in 2006. A number so high that most manufacturers have never come close to touching it with any vehicle in any segment. Car Complaints has virtually zero significant complaints across the entire production run, and owners on Edmunds describe the LS 430 in terms normally reserved for family members. This car has ruined me for all other cars, and I requested the car be buried with me when I die. The 3UZ-FE 4.3-liter V8 underneath is the engine that made the LS 430 legendary. A naturally aspirated timing chain-driven V8, so smooth that Toyota's engineers balanced it with champagne glasses on the valve covers during development, and they didn't spill. Owners have documented these engines crossing 500,000 miles with nothing more than oil changes. The market ignores the LS 430 because it's 20 years old, and the infotainment looks like it belongs in a museum. Mechanics ignore its age because nothing on it breaks. You can find clean examples for $8,000 to $18,000. A car that cost $65,000 new earned a 95 out of 100 quality score and has owners begging to be buried with it. One mechanic I spoke with summed it up in a sentence that belongs on a billboard. If someone asks me what used car to buy and they don't care about impressing anyone, I say LS430 every time without thinking. 95 out of 100, champagne glasses on the valve covers, owners asking to be buried with it. That's not just a car. That's the strongest argument against buying new that the automotive industry has ever produced.